What have I got here? Right, little beauty arrived in the post today. Thank you to Mr. John Bolloten for your Field of Broken Dreams and for your beautiful print from You Have Nothing to Say Here. And that is just about, that's about 12 by 8.5, which if you put it up to the A4, it's a little bit bigger in parts. Now to the book. I love that, it's fantastic. John's a prolific photographer. I love the fact, what I like about John's work, and I'm not going to jump too much, is that he sees an end product. He sees a project, he puts all his pictures into a final product, which is a book, as well as the website. John works in some very difficult areas of British culture with drugs and prostitution and the homeless. And I think John does it justice. I think John likes looking at marginal parts of the community within the UK. That comes with its risks, and it takes a certain type of person. Anybody can get into this environment, but it's whether you can come out of that environment with something productive and skillful. I know John doesn't put a lot of stuff on the internet, and rightly so, and I think he keeps certain stuff back for certain reasons, to use in other contexts, and that's the right attitude to have. And it's not about going in and taking pictures and walking away, making fools of people who give you the time. It's using it constructively. So I'm a fan of the way he does stuff. I'm a fan of the way he shoots. He's a good photographer. He's a solid photographer. And yeah, I'd like to see some of John's commercial work. And if he's not getting that commercial work, he should be. There's a man on a mission here. This is a great cover. Now, as I said, John has an end vision. He has books, and that's really important. A lot of photographers don't see that end product and don't see their work is a zine, is a mini book, is a miniature photo book, or a big final publication. In the olden days, about 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, us photographers, when we did sort of stories and ideas, our real goal was magazines. Books were like so far up there, it was like the golden chalice. And with now, it's sort of because of the internet, because of publishing, printing costs, and the network and the social network out there to promote yourself and the easiness to publish your books, it's become such an easier outset, and it's actually taken over the credibility stake of having your work published in a magazine. But don't get me wrong, magazines, for me, still getting a picture in a newspaper or magazine is still something which I treasure. And let's have a look at this. I won't go on too much. The Field of Broken Dreams. So it's about non-league football. I'll have a look and find out exactly what level of non-league football it is, because it's a massive pyramid system from the bottom base all the way up to the Premiership. I guess this is quite at the bottom stem, but without this, you never get the players and you never get the life of football within the UK if you haven't got the full pyramid system. So it's you can still buy this. You can get it at fistfulofbooks.com. And you can buy it off John's site or the Fistful of Books. I would get one. Quality is fantastic. Published by Fistful of Books. I'll put the link for both John's website and Fistful of Books on the internet. I'm going to pull this out because I love the concept of this. I love, that's really clever. I actually haven't noticed that. So I love that. Let's go up about, look at that. So that's nice. Let's measure the cover. Let's measure the book, 11.5 by 8. And if I put my old trusty A4 down, we'll get a perspective. I like doing this, even though it probably doesn't really matter. So that's a lovely fit within an A4. You can see it's it's around that thing, and then there's just like a trim on it, which is nice. It's metal stapled. I'm not sure how many pages. Is there a page count? I would say 40, 50 pages. Let's have a look. So we've got an intro. We have an introduction by Peter Dench, and it's literally going on about the pictures being part of Bradford's 3 lowest league footballs: West Riding, Spen Valley, and Bradford Alliance Sunday League. I've actually played Sunday League and I have the scars on my knees to prove that I played Sunday football. So let's going to start it off with, I'm going to come down. Okay, I'm going to come right down, so we'll do a page at a time. I'm not going to show you all of this. I think I show you some of the shots I like, and you know, this is what it's all about, isn't it? Really, and you've done this when you were a kid. You did this with your jumpers on the goalpost. This is what it's all about naturally, and I wouldn't even say it's a privilege of Premiership players that they don't have to do this, but they probably do a lot of this themselves. And you know, they all have to muck in at some point. Maybe not so much this, but you know, I think we soon forget that, you know, you come out of the Premiership and maybe the Championship, but like lower leagues, from even League One, the players get involved with stuff. And recently, my football team has just been demoted right down to Division One, and which is not bad, but they were like helping out fitting new seats with the supporters before pre-season to fix some of the old seats into new seats. So anyway, it's a real coming together. It's a real community, isn't it? It's almost like a boxing club. It's like a social club, isn't it? It's a sort of it's a sort of unity of brothers, you know, and like you'd get in any sport group like this. I remember in the north how tough it was playing when you're playing against very big men, and you're a little skinny thing like me, and it's sort of a very difficult thing to do, and very physical. So I love the loneliness. I love the concept of this. I love the sparseness of it. Another great shot here, almost like a panoramic. I think so far, what the book's showing so far is a unity, is a coming together of men, is a coming together for the love of sport. The desire to win, the desire to play. These guys aspire to playing like the professionals, and you know, it's taken very seriously, this, and I'm sure many of you who are listening to me who are alone about it understand that. Some great pictures, great insight. A lot of work has gone into this, you know. It's something which takes a lot of persistence and a lot of time, a lot of trust. You have to think, why would somebody let you take a picture of them having a wee against the fence? But I think in the context of what it's about, I see its purpose, and it is supposed to give you that that reality check with the sport at this level. I love the way John's using almost like a panoramic effect, with almost like a diptych in a way. Like he's using a panoramic effect to establish shots, and I like the way he's breaking up the edit. It's really nice. Really nice quality shots, and I would presume I'm not sure, and maybe John can discuss this in the comments box. I would say the quality of it is probably something like, it's definitely film, and I would say maybe, I would even say, just judging by the lack of grain, I would stick my neck out and say FP4 100 Ilford. I can't wait for it to be corrected, but that's my thing, because the quality is so good. Beautiful, look at that. They're almost like sort of, it's shooting in that certain light. You can see the light here and how it's shot, and it's almost sort of makes it cinematic in a sense. I love the shot. It's one of my favourite sort of two shots, put like the relationship with these guys that sort of uniformity of the guys together, obviously the religious connotations, the cultural connotations, the peace. And it's interesting that peace which surrounds these group of guys. And then, you know, if any of you are looking at whose mate could that be, you know, it's like that, the different sort of supporters, have a few beers, lads together. And some of the old juice. Beautiful. Some really good stuff. I think John's obviously been very observant in this, and one thing what strikes me, there's no long lens stuff, and I think with something like this is happening, John's has to, you know, you've got to be there straight away, and I'm guessing 35mm, 50mm lens here, maybe 85, maybe something like that. But there's definitely some separation with focal length. But you know, he's not shooting down. He's straight in there. He's thrown himself right into the mix on it. Look at that, beautiful. And this is Bradford, remember. I think it's a really nice book to show racial integration, and especially with everything what's going on at the minute and the divide with religion and stuff. It's very sad situation, you know. And I think this is a real sort of coming together of cultures, of people. Football's universal, you know, and football's for everybody, and so it should be. And you know, we shouldn't judge people on, especially when we're in sport. Oh, God. Bit of rivalry there. It's good. Look at the size of his hands. You wouldn't want to knock off that, would you? Brilliant. There's a technique he's using here, and there's a lovely finish to this, and it reminds me a little bit of Peter Marlowe with that greyness. And I wonder if he's using a certain technique, which I know you do use to get that sort of greyness, and it'd be quite interesting if John says yes or no in the comments to tell me, are you using a certain technique to get that greyness in the shot? Yes or no? Now, on purpose, I've been looking through this, and I have been leaving quite a bit out. And I want to, because I don't think I should show you it all. I think you should go and buy this. I think you should go and sort and look for it. Go and check his website out. There's some beautiful images in there. I'd be proud of some of this stuff in my website and my portfolio. And I'm going to leave you on that. And to be honest, I'm going to leave you with one more. I'll leave you with, how many? I've got loads of pages left. I'll give you two more. Let's go for two more. But I do love that. Look at that. That's beautiful. Well, let's have a look. I like the sort of whole sort of panoramic feel, even though these are two separate pictures. And I've been sort of cutting off the left side because I'm just going on the right side for your visual structure. And I'm going to hit the left now, and that's our parting shot. I want you to see if you can get this, help John out, sell all these out, support John's work. He's got some other fantastic books. If you see any of his books for sale on the Fistful of Books site or on John's site, buy it. Help John out. Okay? Well done, John, mate. Thank you.